What's up, everybody? This is Jumon Khan for One-Eyed Dragons on YouTube. And first off, I wanted to say thanks for getting us to 117 subscribers. Really appreciate the support from everyone who has subscribed. For those that may be watching the video and you haven't hit that subscribe button, it would be great if you did. I would appreciate it. Helps me out a lot and lets me know that I should keep making videos for you guys. So I decided to start the video with a couple questions that I get asked. One is the questions are, let's just cover them. Will there be other video game feeds or streams or content on the channel than Rainbow Six? Why do some of the older videos look better than some of the newer ones? And 3, do I do commentary videos? To answer the first question, yes. We got Overwatch in the works, we've got Rust in the works, we've got Unknown Player Battlegrounds in the works, Star Citizen, Destiny 2 when it comes out. You can rest assured that when new games hit the scene, we will be playing them, and we'll be playing them as a clan together, and we'll be streaming it, making videos about it, and putting them up on YouTube and Twitch and all the popular places. Second question. Basically, the older videos look a bit better because one of our clan members, White Wayne, if you watch some of the older videos, you notice he's always introducing the video. He spent some money, bought a capture card, and started capturing gameplay and doing the editing and that kind of stuff. So he had the ability to upload the videos and edit them up a little bit better than I do. I took over the YouTube channel when some tragic things happened to him in his life, and he had to step away from gaming and the YouTube channel itself. And then I really wasn't sure what to do with the channel, so I would just stream myself playing a game for 2.5 hours or what have you to the YouTube channel, and people don't want to watch 2.5 hours of my fat ass sit there watching, play a game. So recently, I have been off work because of a surgery that I had, so I was bored sitting around figuring out what I was going to do with the extra time I had. Playing video games is great, but it does get boring after a little while if that's all you're doing. So I decided to make some videos just for YouTube, but different than I used to. And that's where I came up with the idea that I would do a couple troll videos and see how they go, and people have responded pretty well. I've gotten, 15, 16, 20 views on a video, and even though we have 117 subscribers, 20 views is pretty good for us. I know that if you look back through our catalog, we have a couple videos that have gone a few, 24,000 I think one is, and another one is maybe close to 15,000 views. And those were unusual. I guess they kind of went viral or something. I don't know. They might have got picked up in a feed for some reason or whatever. I'm not really sure. But averagely, if you look, most of our videos we get, 6, 7, 10, 15, 20 views. So it's a pretty big deal. Then the last one. Do I do commentary? I get asked this a couple times, usually during when I'm streaming. Sometimes people leave comments and ask. One person tweeted it at me one time, which was weird. I don't think YouTube needs another commentator. My official statement is no. You have great commentators like Angry Joe and JonTron and Pat the NES Punk and Nostalgic Critic and Boogie2988 and Review Tech USA and Open World Games, and the list goes on and on and on and on. Sid Alpha, who's a one I recently subscribed to that's really good and I like him, and certainly Jim Sterling. And these are all people I watch, by the way. Digital Foundry, I could go on. I'm not necessarily sure what kind of angle I could bring to commentating other than a middle-aged raging gamer. I have very strong opinions about lots of things, and sometimes, most of the time, that gets me in trouble. Um, but I decided that today I would try to do a commentary video about, of course, what everybody's talking about, E3 and the Xbox One X. All right, so E3's over, and if you look out across the gaming meta, you'll read all kinds of stories from both camps. Microsoft knocked it out of the park. Microsoft lost E3. Microsoft, who is the Xbox One X for? I don't understand Microsoft. PS4 Pro's in trouble. Um, just a plethora of opinions. And I decided I would go ahead and give my take on it as a gamer that's been around for 33 years now, or more, a little more. Getting my start on the Atari 2600 with Pac-Man. Going into this E3, I was excited. I wanted to see what Microsoft was going to, or what the Scorpio was going to look like. I was excited to hear the final specs of the system. I was generally excited going into E3. What was Sony going to announce that we didn't know about? Could there be a possibility of talk of PS5? Were they going to do a price cut on the PS4 Pro and the base PS4? All of these things. So Microsoft, and personally, these are my opinions, Microsoft right out of the gate shoots themselves in the foot. They have a perfect chance to wash themselves clean of the Xbox One fiasco totally and get a fresh start. And they come out and announce that Xbox Scorpio will actually be called Xbox One X. So now you have the Xbox One, Xbox One S, and Xbox One X. And the S and the X just sound too close together. And Xbox One's a horrible name to begin with. I was actually kind of hoping they would keep the Scorpio moniker, because that, to me, was a much better choice than Xbox, Xbox One X. So that was strike one for me. Strike two, we get into the games, and they're lackluster. They had some good reveals. Let's start with Forza 7. Forza 7, I take nothing away from the Xbox One X. It's undoubtedly powerful. Forza 7 looks phenomenal. And if I was still into racing games, I would probably be drooling over Forza 7. Then as they move into other games, you start hearing or seeing that, okay, you got Forza 7's native 4K. They go through this montage of indie games that there was one game in there, I think it was Last Night was the name of it, that I was interested in. The rest of them were just looked boring as hell, and I had no interest in them at all. And they get to Assassin's Creed, and it says 4K enhancement at the bottom. And I went, wait, what? So I put a pin in that, and I thought, well, I'll start reading up on that and come back to that later. Then they show Sea of Thieves, and it says, I think it said native 4K on it, I can't remember. And again, Sea of Thieves was boring. I don't know why, but the industry seems to be fascinated with swashbuckling pirates and zombies. And oh yeah, to that they announced State of Decay 2, and my response, as well as many of my friends, were, great, another zombie survival game, just what gaming needs. And then you get to Anthem, and Anthem was a home run for BioWare. It looked really good. Again, it was scripted gameplay, so we have no idea, what the game's really going to look like until later. Just for the people who may be watching that don't know, when the gameplay is scripted, it's not subjective, or it's not actually what the game's going to look like. So we don't know what Anthem really looks like. We know what this Perfect World trailer they wanted everyone to see looks like, but we don't really know what the game looks like. And I'm talking about not as far as the look of the game, I mean as how the game plays. We don't know what that is like, and we won't know what that's like probably till closer to Gamescom, or maybe even PSX in December. Then they announced the price. The price is $4.99. And I was very disappointed. I was hoping for a way more competitive price, like $3.99. And for me, that killed any interest I had in owning the new Xbox One X. And before that, I was open to a purchase of it. But now, once it releases, regular Xboxes will drop to probably around $100 at pawn shops and stuff, and I'll go pick one up. Probably at $100, it's a good pickup for an Xbox One, a regular Xbox One, an original Xbox One. It's a good pickup at $100 to play Ori and the Blind Forest, and I'm not sure what else the hell is on the Xbox One that I could play or maybe want to play. I don't really know of any exclusives they have that I would be interested in. I'm not really interested in the Halo that they put out. It's atrocious. But Ori and the Blind Forest, I'm interested in playing that. And then when Ori and the Will of the Wisps comes out, I can play that. I'm interested in that game. And at $100 to play whatever else, to play whatever doesn't come out on my PS4 or PC, which again for Microsoft that's not a whole lot. That's a good deal. So why is $500 a horrible price point? Well, you have to go back to those games that they showed. Forza 4 showed in native 4K. Awesome. But that's a first-party title. If you conversely look back at PS3, PS3 on paper was the more powerful console last gen, but it was hard to program for. So you didn't see a lot of the other games able to take advantage of the power of the system. But you did see games like The Last of Us. The Last of Us on PS3 was a game that showed what that console was actually capable of. But it took a first-party dev who was putting the time in to understand it and put the extra work in to get that out of the system. It took a first-party dev. And here we see the exact same thing happening. Third-party devs, when you get to the third-party game, it says 4K enhancement. Doesn't say 4K native, it says 4K enhancement. And you don't know what the frame rate is for those games. Are they running 60 frames or 30 frames? And then Metro Exodus wasn't even running on Xbox One hardware, which is currently up on the screen. It's just pointing to the fact that the system may claim to be the most powerful console, but they're not going to be able to deliver a quote-unquote true 4K experience. I know that Horizon Zero Dawn runs at an upscaled 2160p or checkerboard 2160p. Its native resolution is, I think, is 1800, and it's checkerboarded up to 2160p. But it's running at, I think it's running at 60 frames per second. I'll have to double check that. So let's pull up this infograph I got. I got this from Reddit. And start looking down the list. Now, the first thing that grabs me is some PR spin on the Xbox side. It says 8 custom x86 cores clocked at 2.3 gigahertz. Then when you look at the PlayStation Pro side, it says 8-core AMD custom Jaguar. It looks to me like Microsoft is trying to convince people that they've abandoned the Jaguar CPU and they have a total custom CPU now. And they've abandoned the Jaguar CPU. But anybody who knows this is PR. If you've been around long enough, you know this is just PR. It's public relations talk. It's them muddying the waters, trying to make people believe they're not using the same CPU anymore as the PlayStation 4 Pro, but they are. They have to be in order for those games to work across all three of the consoles. That's why PlayStation 4 Pro stuck with the Jaguar core, was to make sure the games worked efficiently across all the platforms. Now, when you get to the GPU part, the GPU says integrated AMD graphics with 6 teraflops of performance. And you look over at PS4 Pro, it says integrated AMD Polaris graphics with 4.2 teraflops of performance. Now, the GPU in the PS4 Pro is the same one as the regular PS4. The only thing is, it's been overclocked and it has some architectural features from the Polaris GPU architecture in it. The GPU on the Xbox One X, though, is a totally brand new GPU. Now, when you move down to the next line, the RAM, the Xbox One X blows the PS4 Pro out of the water. It's got 8 gigs of GDDR5. PS4 Pro only has 8. PS4 Pro only allows 4.5 gigs open to the devs. Xbox One X lets them have 9 gigs, so you will definitely be able to do things, a lot more things, on the Xbox One X in terms of draw distance and pop in. You won't have as much pop in, and you'll have a longer draw distance on the Xbox One X than you will on the PS4 Pro. Then as you move down, they both have 1 terabyte hard drive. They both weigh about roughly the same. I don't know why weight matters. And then you get to the price. Now, we covered already that the games that they showed at the conference were not running in native 4K. The only games they showed running in native 4K were Forza 7 and the indie titles, and Minecraft. The rest of the games were using 2 techniques that are used to get to a 4K image from a lesser image. And as Digital Foundry has pointed out, they work rather well, and they can fool you if you're not paying close attention. And what I mean is by freezing the frame and looking for certain things, which most average people don't do. So here you have the Xbox One X at $500. You have the PS4 Pro at $399 or $400. There's $100 separating them. And on the Xbox One X, you still get a checkerboard dynamic scaling used to reach 4K on demanding third-party games like Assassin's Creed and Anthem. That's the same technique that will be used on the PS4 Pro to get the same image. The only thing I can say is that Xbox says that super sampling will be done for all the games that have an enhancement on theirs, so that Xbox One S players get a better image on a 1080p screen. You don't always get that on PS4, which is a shame. It should be done, but you don't always get it. So that's a plus. Both offer HDR. Both offer wide color gambit and all of those things. So what it really comes down to is the price. For $100 more, are you going to be getting a better picture than you would on a PS4 Pro? And I don't think you are. I think you're going to be getting the same image as you would from your PS4 Pro than you would on your Xbox One X. Not only that, but you have 3 times the amount of games on your PS4 Pro that you'll be able to play that are exclusive, that you don't have on your Xbox One X. You've got Days Gone, God of War 4, Anthem will be on PS4 Pro, Assassin's Creed Origins will be on PS4 Pro. Then you've got Battlefront 2, that's also on PS4 Pro. And a lot of the games that they showed from the Microsoft camp are on PS4 Pro. And worse yet, PS4 Pro has the marketing rights. So everything you hear about Battlefront 2, Star Wars Battlefront 2, is going to be ending, the commercials will be ending with play now on PS4 Pro or available on PS4 Pro. They have the marketing rights for Anthem. They have the marketing rights for Star Wars. They have the marketing rights for Call of Duty. They have the marketing rights for Destiny 2 and its foreseeable sequels. They have the marketing rights for MLB, NBA Live. I mean, there's quite a few games. I think they even have it for Battlefield now, that they have the marketing rights for PS4 Pro, which is going to make it look like they have those as exclusives when they don't. You'll still be able to play those on your PC, some of them, not all of them, on your PC and Xbox One. But it'll look like they have an exclusive because they have the marketing rights to those games. So every time you hear something about it, it'll be PS4, PS4, PS4. So to me, I was very disappointed with Microsoft's, one, the showing of the games. It was not very exciting at all. And two, the price. I think a smart play from Sony here, if they want to put a nail in the coffin that is this gen, because it's only going to go on for about another year, maybe two. I'm quite confident at E3 or PSX we're going to be hearing rumors of PS5. If you don't start hearing them between now and PSX, I would be really surprised. But I'm quite confident at E3 next year, you're going to see PlayStation talk about PS5 and what it's going to contain and what it's going to come with. And it's probably going to be a $500 console because by then people will be willing to pay $500. So you're going to have them come out and they're going to market a machine that just stomps all over the Xbox One X in a year, maybe year and a half's time. That's going to be at the same price point as the Xbox One X, and it'll be more powerful, and everyone will flock to it. I think if you're Sony, you want to put a nail in the coffin of the competition that it's going on this gen, which there really isn't much of one, is you cut the price of the PS4 Pro by $50. You leave the PS4 base at $250, and maybe even cut the price of the Pro $100. And you put a nail in the coffin. If they went and if Sony really wanted to, they could bury Microsoft right now by dropping the price of the Pro $100, by saying screw it, we'll take $100, we'll take a loss, we'll take a bigger loss on the hardware to sell more games, and they drop the price of the Pro another $100 to make it $399, to make it $300, or to make it $299. Sorry, $300. I think you bury Microsoft at that point. And so that's my commentary about the biggest news I think there was at E3, is that Scorpio launched. It is the most powerful console, but it still does checkerboard rendering and dynamic resolution, and it's $100 more expensive than the PS4 Pro, which does the same thing as the Xbox One X. So I think there you have it. Time will tell. Let me know if you agree with me down in the comments. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit the subscribe button, turn notifications on, like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching.